become a big piece of the Seattle Mariners' public image.
Now, to give you an idea of how serious the Seattle Mariners are about recycling, guess who's throwing out the first pitch today?
It's Susan Thoman from Cedar Grove, the company that turns Safeco Field trash into rich soil.
What does that mean that the Seattle Mariners let you throw out the first pitch? What does that mean to their recycling efforts?
It means that we pitch the right things in the bins and we pitch the right balls toward the plate.
And you didn't bounce it. Congratulations.
Well, thank you.
Nice job.
And speaking of that soil, the Mariners are using it as a giveaway at the game. That's right, it's not Bat Day or Bobblehead Day, it's Dirt Day.
Thank you very much. No problem.
And I decided to lend a hand.
Only in Seattle do they give away dirt. Dirt bag? Who wants a bag of dirt?
And the only thing more interesting than a major league team giving away bags of dirt is the number of fans actually bringing it home.
Free dirt! Put this in your garden.
Dirt.
Free.
Free.
Free dirt.
Free dirt.
All that stuff that you put in the compost. 8 weeks later, it turns into dirt.
Dirt.
Yes.
Like dirt.
Dirt. You put this in your flower beds and your flowers will grow.
Well, I think that's part of the exciting thing about sports, the conversation of conserving and paying attention to the earth. If you can do it through these iconic venues and these strong brands with teams, and we have just about everybody from any cross-section of the public coming through our buildings, it's a great opportunity to leverage our brand to deliver that message and hopefully encourage others to conserve.
Perhaps the power of baseball is strong enough to have fans treat a bag of dirt as if it's gold. In Seattle, Lee Patrick Sullivan, Energy Now.
It's not just new stadiums that are changing their energy and trash profiles. The nation's oldest major league stadium, Boston's Fenway Park, has solar panels on the roof and is undergoing a massive renovation that will make it one of the most energy efficient stadiums in the country. And the folks in Beantown hope to be finished by opening day next year, which, by the way, will be the park's 100th anniversary. Hopefully next time you're at the ballpark, you'll be under some shade, since it seems that just a few weeks into summer, this is shaping up to be a real scorcher. Shade is one way of escaping the heat. There are plenty of others, of course. And if you're headed to the beach, have we got an idea for you? Look at this. This is a solar-powered bikini made in New York and sold by Solar Coterie. Why would a woman need a solar suit? Well, of course, in case she wants to charge a cell phone or an MP3 player, even a camera. Covered in flexible photovoltaic strips and conductive thread, the two-piece features a 5-volt USB port to do the job. The price tag pinches, though, $500. Guys, don't worry, you're going to get something else soon, too. The iDrink. The male solar suit will be able to power a custom cozy for cooling a single beer. And if any of you were wondering, yes, swimming is possible in these suits, but really, just be sure to unplug your electronic devices before wading into the water. Still ahead, is big oil a big villain? Hollywood takes a crack at the oil industry in the latest summer animated blockbuster Cars 2. And George Washington's birth home gets an energy makeover with heating and cooling provided by the earth.
Meet the faces of influenza, groups who should be immunized every year.
I have a chronic medical condition.
Diabetes. Asthma.
I have COPD, a serious lung disease.
Pregnant during influenza season.
We live with a baby under 6 months old.
I'm 4.5 years old.
I'm 14.
I'm 50.
I'm over 50 years old.
Way over 50.
Care for someone at risk.
Live with someone at risk.
I live with someone at risk.
The American Lung Association asks, do you see your family or yourself here? As one of the many faces of influenza, you and I and those close to us need to get vaccinated. In an average year, about 36,000 people die from influenza and its complications. See your healthcare provider about getting vaccinated. It's a safe and effective way to prevent influenza. Visit facesofinfluenza.org. Influenza isn't the common cold. It's serious.
Welcome back to Energy Now. The next stop on our summer energy trip, one of our national monuments, and a lot of us visit them. In fact, the National Park Service says last year alone, more than 281 million people visited national monuments, seashores, recreation areas, and historic spots. So saving energy and protecting the environment have become critical, and the service has come up with different solutions. For example, boilers that supply heat to Yellowstone's Old Faithful Snow Lodge and Mammoth Hot Springs Hotel in Wyoming are now fueled by biodiesel. Solar panels have been installed to power Yosemite's administrative offices in California. Electric and hybrid park vehicles are replacing older, less fuel-efficient vehicles at Devil's Tower National Monument in Wyoming. And in Virginia, the National Park Service is using the Earth's consistent temperature to bring air conditioning and heat to the birthplace of one of the founding fathers, while keeping the historical look intact. Energy Now's Josh Zepps takes us down the patriotic path that led to an extreme home energy makeover.
When in the course of human events, it becomes necessary for a home to be cooled in an energy-efficient manner, we ought to declare the means by which it is done.
This is George Washington's birth home. It's not Mount Vernon, that's 80 miles up the Potomac, and it's probably a bit different from how it looked in 1732. What it is the location of an archaeologically sensitive engineering project to bring cheap, clean geothermal cooling and heating to the birthplace of the nation's first president.
Okay, full disclosure, this house is actually a replica of the original, built in 1932. The real one burned down. But it is still a treasured icon, and it had a problem. How do you install 21st century eco-friendly cooling while respecting an iconic 18th century heritage? That was the challenge for John Jarvis, the director of the National Park Service.
You want the public, when they go there, to get a sense of what this looked like at the time, so you would never put solar panels on the roof of the George Washington birthplace because the public might get a little confused about that.
The solution? Geothermal heat pumps. There are roughly 1 million of these zero-emission systems installed across the United States. Now, for the average home, a geothermal pump system can cost anywhere between $10,000 to $30,000. The Geothermal Exchange Organization says that by using the system, homeowners could save up to 70% off their energy bills, meaning the system should pay for itself in about 10 years. For this archaeologically sensitive site, engineer Mike Strasberg had an idea of how to do it right. When I visited him on location as a non-American,
Good day.
I did my best to fit in like a local.
Well, we are going to be installing a geothermal system for the George Washington's birth home to provide air conditioning and heating. For the first time, they'll have AC in the house.
The system works because the temperature just a few feet underground is very consistent. No matter what the wacky Virginia weather does, underground here it's always 55 degrees. So if you pump water through pipes at the right depth, when it comes back, it too will be 55 degrees year-round, and ready to heat or cool the home as needed.
This is where we'll be drilling the well field.
So this is where the pipes go in?
Yes.
And they go out to where?
They're going to go 200 feet way out into the peninsula. We're going to spread out as much as possible as we start here and drill away from each other.
While Mike and his crew were preparing to dig, I checked out what was being done inside the home.
The main geo unit would be down in the basement, but the blower section will be here in the attic. And so this way we can isolate the 2 floors. It's important so we don't have to do a lot of cutting to bring additional ductwork that we would normally have to do if we did one system.
If I were preparing to found a nation, this is a very pleasant place to do it.
Until, of course, the drilling starts.
You can see the ground shifting.
Yep.
And rising up as the drill goes in. So this is basically going to drill in, what, 200 feet out there?
Yep. It'll end up about 20, 30 feet deep, and we're drilling in at a nice angle.
Vibrating under my feet. Part of the cool part of excavating, of course, is that you find all kinds of stuff. These streaks along here are old ash from a fireplace in the 1700s, probably a neighbor of George Washington's, and this is a piece of charcoal from the 1700s. It's cool stuff.
But halfway through the drilling, there was a glitch.
So the drill has bumped into something hard, something very hard.
Yes.
Something almost, may we say, potentially coffin-like. Could it be a coffin?
That's right.
It could be.
Could be anything.
Coming up next on Energy Now.
George Washington's coffin.
The crew never did find out what the obstruction was, but after they worked around it and finished the job, I headed back to see the finished product. So it's a very hot, humid day here in Virginia, but over here we've got the cool air that has just kicked on and is very pleasant and cool coming out of the existing fireplace. This is part of the new ventilation system, cold air. It was clear that the spirit of innovation pioneered by the nation's first president is alive and well at the site of his birth. In Colonial Beach, Virginia, Josh Sepps, Energy Now.
Now, as for a geothermal system for your home, as Josh mentioned, the cost is in the tens of thousands of dollars. However, for now at least, the federal government is offering a 30% tax rebate for installations in residential properties, a 10% tax rebate for commercial sites. George Washington's birth home did not qualify for a rebate since it is already owned by the federal government. For more information about tax breaks for geothermal, you can go to our website, energynow.com. Finally, a summer movie blockbuster, the animated sequel Cars 2, is what's in this week's Energy Now Hot Zone. The hero, Lightning McQueen, takes on big oil in the movie. He's a regular on the World Grand Prix racing circuit, where all the cars fill up with All in All, a green alternative fuel. Well, without giving too much away, let's just say that the oil companies are not too happy with this threat to traditional gasoline, and don't do well in the image department either.
They say out here is where the ocean burns.
Director John Lasseter says that when he was trying to come up with an uber bad guy, he kept going to big oil. In response to being portrayed as the villains, in a statement, the American Petroleum Institute says it understands movies need villains, but hopes children and adults appreciate the world needs oil, as well as alternatives, and that the benefits of oil are, their word, enormous. Well, that's it for this week's Energy Now. We want to know what you want to know. You can find us on YouTube, Facebook, or Twitter at Energy Now News. Plus, read our blogs and watch extras on our website at energynow.com. And enjoy the summer. I'm Thalia Shuras. See you next week.